Hey guys, it's your boy Skitty. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for stopping by. Cool little overlook of the skyline here. Alright, so chilling out in the garage. Decided to record my video out here because it's getting kind of late. Decided to record it a little bit later in the evening. But yeah, today's been kind of one of those days where there's been something that's kind of stood out to me. You know, it's something that I've been working on, and it involves letting go of certain things. But yeah, ended up getting up, kicked back, relaxed, got to sleep in a little bit, ended up going to group, and got there, chilled for a bit. Didn't have to be there until 2 o'clock, so got to sleep in and enjoy my day, take it easy, and have actually been feeling pretty good because, as I mentioned, I've been doing a lot of shadow work, thinking about a lot of things that I've gone through in my life, and just letting go of a lot of things. And it's been helping me out a lot. It's basically given me a nice reset, and life is feeling a little bit more enjoyable, a little bit more happier, and just more peaceful. You know, I'm comfortable in my skin now, and you know, things are on the up and up. Ended up making it to group and the therapy center, and I ended up doing my neurofeedback today and watched some of the live action Avatar, and that was really fun. That was enjoyable. I really liked that. The more and more I watch that show, the better I feel, and I got to give credit where credit's due. You know, they did a really good job. And I've never even seen the animated series. I've never even finished, I don't think, one episode all the way through when it was on Nickelodeon and whatnot. But as far as the live action show is concerned, it was really good. It's been really good. I'm rewatching it again to see the parts that I missed. So that's been fun. Group came along, and strangely enough, with the group that we had, it reminded me a lot of letting go. So we ended up, you know, having part of it where we all checked in, and the guys were going through certain issues in their life. I'm not going to get too much into detail or, you know, break anonymity, but, you know, just life's getting lifey for some of my brothers, and, you know, a lot of it is just personal issues. And during our group, you know, we were asked to give each other advice, and, you know, part of me wanted to bring up that we need to let it go, you know, in regards to a lot of things in our life. We put a lot of pressure on ourselves that is brought on by ourselves, you know. We take a look at outside issues, and we have a tendency to want to control, want to push forward the best possible outcome. And some of it is in regards to stuff that we have control over, and some of it is regarding stuff that we have no control over. And we listened to a recording, and it was Buddhist flavored, you know, and I consider myself a Christian, but I have an open mind. But hearing that, even the recording put me at ease, because it's like, we're not guaranteed tomorrow, and you know, we come into this world alone, we die alone, you can't take anything with you, so a lot of the stressful things that we take on in our life, we have a tendency to forget that we're just visitors here. We're here today and gone tomorrow, and that's something that I've been working on and dealing with myself that has brought me a lot of peace. So to hear that message in group, it felt good, and we ended up listening to a portion of a chapter of a book in regards to stupid things. Like, I think the book was called 12 Stupid Things That We Do in Our Recovery, from a guy, I forget his name. It was like Alan Berger or something to that effect. But it seems like a very interesting and intriguing book. I might want to follow up on that. But we were listening to the portion of chapter 4 on some of the lies that we tell ourselves. And that hit. And so that was a really good meeting. And it just reminded me, of, being at peace and enjoying what life we have left, as opposed to hyper focusing on some of the stressful stuff that we deal with. Anyway, later on in the night, we ended up having our alumni group, and ran into a few familiar faces. It was always definitely good to see them and say hi and check in and, catch up with, some of my other brothers in treatment with me. And ended up, having a couple of guys celebrating some good, clean time, and that felt really good, seeing them fighting the good fight in their sobriety. It's very inspirational. I gotta give kudos where kudos are deserved. I love to see it. Makes me happy, especially when it's, individuals that I've known from the past. That makes it even more worthwhile, because I've built relationships over time with some of the individuals that I've been in recovery with, and it's cool seeing anybody getting a good amount of clean time and picking up their chips, and that's really great to see. But it's definitely a little bit more meaningful when you actually have a personal relationship with that individual, regardless of whether it's just in passing or if you've had the opportunity to actually get to know the certain individual. So to see, a couple of the guys picking up chips that I have had the chance to get to know, that makes me really happy. That's cool as shit to see, man. That's so fucking awesome. That gives me a fire and a drive to stay strong and know that it can be done. But afterwards, speaking of letting go, I was having a good day for the most part. And we ended up having a Little Caesars pizza, and I ended up letting go of my plate. Talking about letting go, I ended up letting go of my plate, and my pizza fell all over the ground, so I had to clean that up, which kind of sucked. But instead of letting it get to me and feeling bad about it, I didn't really have any emotion over it at all whatsoever. I mean, was it embarrassing? A little bit. Did it bother me? Not at all. It was just kind of like I let it go. So that emotion just came and went really quick, and I was fine with it. And yeah, other than that, like, the day's been really great. But there was something else that kind of bummed me out towards the end of the night. So I ended up getting back to the house, and I found out that we have HBO Max because one of the other guys in the house was watching Euphoria. And I might want to check that out later. I've only seen like a couple episodes of the first season, but from what I hear so far, it's actually been pretty good, especially the last season. So I hear. I don't know. That's just word of mouth. But I remembered and seen that the movie Mortal Kombat 2 was on there. And so I ended up watching that, and it was exactly what I thought it was going to be. I have been a fan of Mortal Kombat ever since it first came out in the arcade. I've followed it, I've followed the lore, I've been an avid fan. Some of the things that I see from it, I agree with. Some of it is kind of off the wall and makes it really difficult to like enjoy it. And I've had my gripes and my complaints and certain things, and have learned to love it for the most part. But these last live action movies, like the last Mortal Kombat with the introduction of Cole Young, that really put a damper on my spirit, because it was like, man, like, what the fuck is going on here? It totally just like threw me for a loop in regards to like having anything to do with the original story. And then when they were coming out with previews and stuff like that for Mortal Kombat 2, I was already very skeptical after the last movie. I mean, I know they blamed COVID and the actors wanting to be with their families and, this, that, and the other, but it just seemed like it was just a hacked piece of shit. I'm going to call it what it is. And then I seen and heard bits and pieces about the second one, and I was kind of skeptical. I heard they brought Ed Boon in to kind of tinker around with stuff, and it kind of felt like he was trying to, fix some of the mistakes and make it as good as he possibly can with what he had to work with. But I was very disappointed in the movie. Once again, Kano, that character basically saved the day once again. Dude, the one-liners in that movie from that guy, kudos to you, dude. And the writer on that shit was hilarious. His interactions with Quan Chi, and just, he's been the star of the show. I'll have to give him his flowers. But that with the introduction of Carl Urban as Johnny Cage, and the Cole Young character and all that, and like all of it was just I don't know, it was hard to watch, hard to digest, and it just didn't have the pull, it didn't have the excitement, it didn't have like the anticipation. It feels like there could just be so much more. So I'm definitely happy that I didn't go to the theater to watch that movie and just streamed it. And I heard they already greenlit Mortal Kombat 3, and Simon McQuaid, the director, is already like thinking about not coming back or may not be invited back. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like, so far it has not been so good. So if he's the problem or whatever, so be it. But yeah, I'm praying they get Mortal Kombat 3 and turn it around. I mean, it's already been like, it makes me feel like it's the death of a franchise, because Mortal Kombat as a brand has went through rebrandings, being bought out by Warner Brothers, and having this, that, and the other change to it, and they've done the best that they could so far, which I'm very grateful for that. And it seems like they've been doing a really good job, especially with the games. You know, even when they did, you know, their reboot of the games, you know, when they went back to the original Mortal Kombat, I believe it was on PlayStation 3. But it, I don't know. Long story short, I was disappointed in that. But hopefully they get Mortal Kombat 3 handled and taken care of properly and make it good. But yeah, not too interested in the movie itself. I'm praying the franchise stays alive. It's a great franchise, it's a great game. And other than that, I'm probably going to call it a night. Got work tomorrow in the morning. So, rant over. I love you guys. Thank you for stopping by and stay blessed.